The tool cupboard is the heart of any base, whether it's a huge clan base or a 2x2 that's the start of something great. The best players always keep it well protected, so in this video I'm going to show you all of the best ways you can keep your TC safe. Method 1. The drop trap. This is a method that I love to use as it is very punishing to anybody trying to raid you. Start off with a basic 2x2, building a secure and well packed loot room on one foundation. You then want a half wall with a floor attached to it just above, with the half wall to the back of the loot room. You then build your own way up around that using a tightly packed row of shotgun traps underneath the half wall. This means any player trying to get to your loot will be stopped in their tracks. I'd recommend putting another trap or two at the bottom loot room just to finish off any players who are lucky enough to make it to the ground. Method 2. The Pentagon. Another straightforward but effective design. This one works especially well in smaller bases and for solo duo players. You can place a single square foundation with one triangle to form a pentagon. You can of course add honeycombing for extra defense. Place the TC nice and forward inside the triangle with just enough space for a window wall. From that point, add in a half floor so you can fit some more loot. You can squeeze 4 big boxes alongside a handful of shotgun traps, just for extra defense. You then wall it off with another window wall, filling in both spaces with armoured windows. The TC and other boxes will then be accessible only to you and your hammer. Method 3. The Sneaky Barricade. This is a real easy one for those of you who want to be more subtle with your TC, especially in smaller bases. You simply fit a single door going from your main base into the first layer of honeycombing, and in front of that you place a workbench. You're much better off with a tier 3 of course, as it will require more health to break and it works better at covering the door because of its size. You then crouch down and open the door through the workbench, accessing your TC. It is important to note that you won't be able to access the lock on the TC without lifting the workbench. Method 4. The Zombie. A super effective method that comes with an extra layer of protection. You make 3 rooms, walling off the TC completely, save for a window that you can access. Then place 2 beds in the center room, or if you prefer, sleeping bags, leaving room for something else you may want, potentially a small box with a quick defense loadout in. You then wall off that room to the 3rd room, which you will fill with boxes and then window off again. Whenever you need to put materials in the TC, you can fill the first layer of boxes, reset, then spawn in the middle room, giving you access to both the materials and the TC. This method is ideal for solo duo trio players, but for larger groups it can be a little more awkward, making space for everyone to be able to spawn next to the TC. Method 5. The Bee Hive. This method is a tiny bit more testy, but uses roofs in a very effective way of keeping your TC hidden but accessible. You start by forming a hexagon using the triangle foundations. Then place one roof along the halfway point. Moving diagonally away from the roof, you then want to place your TC across this line in the stone foundation. Next, grab a triangle roof foundation and place it diagonally from the TC. At this point, your TC is completely covered from that side, but can still be accessed through this center point in the roof. Wall off all remaining space behind the TC, but before you do, consider adding some traps that you can stock up, so that anyone who breaks through gets a nasty surprise. Again, once placed, you will not be able to access the lock of the TC, so make sure that your whole group is authorized first. Between these 5 methods, you should have a plan for every base design. You can always try playing around with them to see what works best for you, and maybe incorporate some ideas of your own. Good luck with your base building, and if you have any further questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comments below, and with that being said, I will see you next week.